I mean, to start, look, I know that you both are big fans of these types of shows, and look, coincidentally, we know that certainly CBS had your number for maybe some other ways. But talk to me about your fandom level with The Amazing Race and what got you to decide to make the jump from just viewers to racers.
So yeah, we've watched every episode of every season religiously. We had a notebook
Notebook.
because Scott often is at work or he's busy with whatever, and I would write down what the challenges were, and then so I would be like, okay, we're going to do this or that, and so sometimes we would agree, and sometimes we wouldn't, and then I'm like, but that looks easier, and so we'd kind of like talk it out with each other, and we've always been in love with it. We thought it would be so fun, not only to travel around the world, but to experience these crazy challenges that are so unique to the culture,
To the
to the
immersion.
little community, to the little like it was so specific of what of where we were at, and something like we traveled there, we would have never done these types of challenges or found these opportunities to make these amazing experiences. So yeah, we've loved it from day one.
Yeah. So then, when you decide that you want to try to apply, were you always going to apply together? Were there other partners you had in mind? Or was it, okay, listen, we worked together to make the notebook. We got to put that into place.
So yeah, no, we always wanted to do it together, but we have 8 sons. And so for 15 years of The Amazing Race, I was pregnant and nursing.
Nursing.
And I absolutely could not do The Amazing Race. And so we just watched and enjoyed it. And then last year, almost a year ago, I came home and I'm like, Scott, we're making an audition tape for The Amazing Race. And he's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, no. Like
Like right
today,
now.
like hop in the car. We're doing it right now. And he was like, well, should we practice? I'm like, no, we're doing it. And we got on. So
Yeah. One take, 10 minutes. We had to pare it down because we could only do 4.5 minutes, but it was awesome. Good example of kind of the banter that we're just used to and accustomed to.
yeah.
Well, let's fast forward from the beginning to the end here. Now, we'll talk about everything with the U-turn. What I'm curious about is when you knew that you had to do both sides of the detour, you decide to pursue this strategy, right? Of like, okay, let's do the physically taxing one first, and then when we work on the mental one, that'll allow us to recuperate.
Yeah.
Looking back, do you feel like that was a sound strategy? Did you feel like you were able to physically recuperate, or was it more so, I'm so exhausted, I can't see what these coral pieces are, and it ends up suffering?
Yeah, no, I felt like we did it the right way. I mean, it's like 90 plus degrees, 100% humidity. It is so hot, and we had to run. They don't show how far you have to run with
All
that
those
bike and
coconuts.
move the coconuts back and forth. It was so far, and we were just. It looked like we had jumped in the ocean. We were absolutely drenched, and then finally being able to do the coral under the shade.
In the shade.
Oh,
Yep.
it was a little reprieve, but no, I don't think it had anything to do with our mindset. I felt like the coral change, they change colors when they dry. And so we just had our coral out too long. And so the slight change of color, we felt like we had it correct over and over and over again. And then we're like, maybe we should re-wet it. And so
Yeah.
we re-wet it, and it was one piece that needed to be changed because it was like green or purple. I can't even remember. That was slightly different with the color.
And I think for us, it was a strange territory for us to be in because every single challenge we had been in that was either detail oriented or memory associated, we were banging out in one attempt or two attempts. So
Yeah.
to go 15, 17 attempts, whatever it was, the final tally was just so bizarre for us.
Well, I'm sure what compounded on that stress and was making you as drenched as that coral was at one point was this double U-turn. And to say you wore the shock on your faces would be an understatement. And look, some very charged comments coming out of you in the moment as well of like, I feel like I'm being betrayed by my children. They're no longer friends. Was this something that you were playing up, or did you sincerely feel as betrayed in the moment? Talk to me about your reaction.
Yeah, no, we were surprised. So before we had voted, they all, they separate us. And I was like, ooh, Scott, I have a bad feeling in my gut. It's like that mom intuition when I know my kid snuck out or ditched school or did something naughty. Like, I don't know what it is, but I know something is bad. And Scott's like, no, we're good. Like all the
Everybody
teams
likes us.
Why?
Why?
We like
Why do we have to
everybody.
be worried?
And we really genuinely do like everybody. And we felt like we had a rapport with everyone. And so when first Mark and Brett turned the thing, I was like, oh, like you could see this shock. And then what they didn't show is I look at Scott and I'm like, I told you. Like I knew it because we were in the front with Jack and Carson and Jonathan and Anna. So like it had to be two of
One
the
of
three of
us,
the team.
yeah.
So I wasn't as surprised until the very end, which again, the editing kind of changes this slightly, but it was Nick and Mike that it hurt more our feelings of we felt the almost closest with them. And for them to vote against us, we were like, oh, for reals? Like that was kind of a surprise because I thought we had that genuine connection where we were going to try to help each other, maybe not be a complete total ally with each other throughout the whole race, but we just had a moment at the Rice thing with them that we felt like they wouldn't have voted for us.
Yeah.
Regardless if they did or didn't, we were still going up with Jonathan and Anna. But that was just more of the vote that kind of like hurt our feelings a little bit more.
Did you find that attitude sort of change as the day went along? Because again, big statement to make of like, yeah, I thought we were friends. That's not going to be the case anymore. But by the end of it, like you hug Anna goodbye at the roadblock. Yeah. So talk to me about how that mentality changed, how you sort of compartmentalized getting targeted as you're also trying to race at the same time.
Yeah. So when we, all the teams are saying Lori and Scott, or almost all the teams, again, my feelings were hurt with what Nick and Mike voted for us. But it was when Mark had made comments of saying that were totally outlandish and complete lies of saying, you guys aren't really this nice or this kind or
like
this.
It's gameplay,
this
social
is gameplay.
gameplay.
Like you guys are faking it. And so you guys are pretending to be all of our friends. And we were like, whoa. Okay, time out for the game. Like, no, we are legit. Cup is half full. We are kind. We are cheering. And that's another thing. They don't show every single challenge that I'm not participating in. I am literally jumping up and down, screaming, clapping, cheering every single team on because I do genuinely want everyone to do their best against our best. And
I mean, you even see it in that episode with us leaving in the taxis, Jonathan and a little bit more despondent. We're like, we might win this leg. Like we weren't counting ourselves out of it just because we had been double U-turn. We knew we were capable. As long as we operated toward our strengths, we would be really strong team still. But then you even notice Lori when she's like, oh, Jonathan got the clue. Oh, wait, but that's good. Like, good for him. Like, you can see her struggle with the competition of it. Like, we love these people for who they are. We're just in a race for $1 million and it's at our cost. So it's hard to juggle those two things sometimes.
Right. So I had made that comment of we're not friends to Mark because he had kind of said, oh, you guys are fake. And I'm like, I don't like drama in real life. Like I don't like negativity and drama. So I'm like, we're not going to be friends because of how you're portraying us, which is totally outlandish and absolutely wrong. Again, since then, everyone is kumbaya and we love each other and everything is absolutely fine. So.
Well, something that was also a part of that, which got shown in last week's episode, is the fact that whether you're playing it up or not, you certainly have made comments throughout of like, look at you for your age. We're the slowest team, but look how quick they are. And all the teams are like, I don't think they're as slow as they make themselves out to me. So did they clock you on, you being able to steer into the curve a bit, or was this all completely coincidental that, they're saying, they're playing down their abilities? Was that purposeful or not?
Well, the first part with the cheering on, Scott it doesn't matter if there's a camera crew or contestants or if Scott and I are alone. That is Scott to a T. He is my biggest cheerleader. He is cheering no matter what I do, no matter how big or small it is. He is yelling and screaming for me. So people kind of perceive that as he was like
shoving it in their faces,
in other people's faces. And I'm like, no. That is Scott, how he is for me and how we are to our kids and our kids are towards us. Like we are loud. We are definitely loud, but we love that. I feel like it's a talent of ours that my kids can be anywhere on the field or anywhere in a game and they can hear us cheering them on to know that we support them and love them. And that's what Scott was doing. And letting me know how hard that was. And I'm going as fast as I can, that he has my back no matter what.
Well, and I think one of the things Lori's been huge about professing for years now is like, you're not just a mom. It's this mentality of sometimes we wear these roles we've assumed as badges and responsibilities that we cater our lives to. And so oftentimes it's reminding her of the fact that you're a 49-year-old mom up there killing the bamboo, or you're threshing that rice like a champion. It's not meant to rub in other people's faces, but just to remind her of what an amazing champion she is of this whole idea of what we're trying to portray.
Yeah, he's just as loud as if anyone's there or not. But for the second part of your question, I honestly felt like we were slow in the fact of running the foot race of it. I know we could have beat Melinda because she was having some issues and she's a little bit older. And at the time, Pops as well, he hurt his ankle, knee or ankle, I can't remember. But if it was like on a line, our market set go, like we would have come in almost last. And that's what I kept saying. Like, we are not fast. We are sloggers. We are slow joggers. These younger kids that are stronger and more athletic will run circles around us. But yes, in a specific challenge, we could focus and get that task done. So we were more quick at getting the task done.
Yeah.
But just running, like you saw in episode 4, we finished before Jack and Carson. They beat us to the mat because they outran us.
Yeah.
We are slower. And so they kind of, and maybe I didn't explain that as well. Like I just said, we were a slower team. And they perceived that I was saying overall we were slow, but anyway.
I think what we were very good at was being decisive about what we knew our strengths were,
Yeah.
and how to avoid our weaknesses as much as possible.
Well, and so to that point, again, maybe one of the reasons why they felt like, oh, I don't know if this is holding water is because of the fact that you were doing well. I mean, look at that first Japan leg where you come in on the last flight and jump all the way up to second, obviously followed it up with first and third. Did that surprise you at all? Or was it, to your point, something you knew you'd be good at once you actually focused on the task at hand?
I think that it surprised us, yes. I think we were going to be playing from the middle of the pack most of the time.
Yeah.
We never underestimated ourselves. We thought we would be playing from the back, playing catch up most of the time, and surprised ourselves a little bit by how well we were doing so early on.
Yeah.
But it also didn't surprise us that there were things that we found we were really good at. And again, being so good at being able to be teammates with each other, knowing what she's strong at, where she needs to step up her strengths, versus my weaknesses, has been something we've been doing for 26 years. So it wasn't hard to do it on a race.
But we were never worried. Like, if that's something about the Amazing Race, the very first rip and read and you're running, like, if you're in last place, that honestly doesn't mean anything, because so much can happen. A bad taxi ride, like he got the drums on the first time. Like, there's so many things that could happen. So when people are so nervous and worried at the very beginning, we never thought we were.
Never counted
I
ourselves
knew
out.
we were behind a little bit, but we thought, oh, we could just make up a couple spots and we would be fine. But we never were worried, because I'm like, anything is possible. And the second he busted out those drums with Amazing Bernie, like, I was like, that's the Wonder Team right there. Like, they killed that challenge, and then we just went on from there.
Well, I think, I'm glad you bring up that point, because I think certainly, engaging the fandom after this episode, there have certainly been a lot of people saying, like, Scott and Lori got screwed, the W turn gave him like a 50-50 chance basically of surviving. And again, it seems like you are authentically optimistic people. So how do you look back on your experience? Again, something that you had been watching for years, waiting to do, and for things to go down the way that it did after it seemed like you had been building momentum for the majority of your time on the race.
Yeah, that's the most comments we've been getting from last night to this morning is, you guys got screwed. Like, all these like negative things. And I'm like, guys, these contestants didn't just like randomly vote for us. Like, this is part of the game. They were asked to choose a team, and really they felt like Jonathan and Anna and us were a threat, that we were really good, and we were really good. We got second place, third place, second place, first place, second place. Like, we were doing really good. Our trajectory was amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you can't get mad at these contestants for voting for us when that's part of the game and it's gameplay. Like, and so, we don't take it out in anything personal. And again, I didn't take any of those votes personal until Mark had mentioned some comments that's what we took personal. And that's what I was like, that's what I don't like that part. Like, that didn't jive with me at all.
And I think Lori's comments there towards the end of the episode was what I think hits me the most, the hardest. And I think is our, thing here is that we just felt like we had a little bit more to give. Like, we weren't done. Yeah. Like, if we could have said, no, we
phone a friend.
Yeah.
Something. Look, give us one more chance, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes absolute sense. But also, again, there are other pairs that might understandably respond from a place of despondency in that moment. But the fact that you walked out with your head held high, and I'm sure Phil, telling you what you were both thinking as well in terms of how you felt your race will reflect on your children as well, of which I'm assuming now you're going to have like 4 more Amazing Race teams come out when they're of age. Do they want to do it now that it's become a family show?
Yeah, we were just talking to him last night because someone had mentioned, they were like, Jesse Tannenbaum made the best decision by putting Scott and Lori on the race, because now they have 8 sons. They have 8 more
next
seasons.
Yeah, that was me. I said that.
They could put. So I was asking, I'm like, who would you go with? And they were like, oh, I would choose this brother. I would choose. Oh, I can't choose that brother. We would just battle. Oh, but I would choose this brother. And so it was really funny. Just last night we were talking about that. That would be so fun. The Thompson legacy, Team Pink.
That's right.
I was about to say, well, congratulations on starting a dynasty of
Yeah,
amazing
right.
racers. They will rise up in the wake of your robbed loss here and make good on
right.
the family name. This was such a delight. Getting the chance to watch the two of you. I mean, the love you had for the race and for each other. I'm so happy to see that bear out in success for you as well. And again, while obviously it is not going out under the most ideal circumstances, I think the way that you went out towards everything being thrown against you just speaks to how you handle a lot of adversity that I'm sure you have dealt with your entire life, that assumingly you will continue to deal with. And so for you, I'm sure it was about the journey, not the destination. And so thank you for, depicting your journey to me today and to millions of people for the past 5 weeks.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course, yes. All the best to you and the boys as well. And thanks so much again, Scott and Lori. You have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.